Hi, my name is Attorney Joe Mitchell. I call myself your Harvard attorney. I practice criminal law and personal injury law in Philadelphia. And I'm here to give you some information about bail in Philadelphia. Bail is a little bit of a complicated issue, so I want to give you all the ins and outs so you know the score. The purpose of bail is to make sure that the defendant shows up for court. That's the only reason that they have bail. Now sometimes they say, well, he's committed a bad crime and he needs to be in prison, but that really isn't the reason why we have bail. We have bail fundamentally and primarily to make sure that someone shows up for court. Now, in Philadelphia, we have the city acting as a bail bondsman, which means that the city will pay 90% of the bail. Or, to put it more accurately, the person who signs his bail has to pay 10% of the bail. So, if it's a $10,000 bail, you have to pay $1,000 plus a $10 administrative fee. Now, who signs the bail receipt is very important, because if, for whatever reason, the defendant doesn't show up, then what happens is the whole bail amount, the whole $10,000 would be owed and would be what's called sued out. In other words, the person who signed the bail receipt would be sued for the full $10,000, even though they only paid $1,000. So in most cases, and in many cases, a family member may pay the bail, but the defendant is the one that actually, whose name will be on the bail, so that if he doesn't show, he's the one that owes the $10,000 as opposed to the person. So that's a very important distinction, and usually they're very good at explaining that distinction when you go to the bail bondsman's, or when you go to the bail office, which is located in the Criminal Justice Center at 1301 Filbert Street in the basement, BO4. So, how is the bail set? The bail is set according to guidelines by a magistrate. Not a judge, but a magistrate. Someone who is an official of the court, not a judge, but who looks at the evidence, basically the basic facts of the case, and decides whether or not to go according to the guidelines or to go above the guidelines. Very seldom do they go below the guidelines. On minor offenses such as possession of marijuana, many times you're just released on your own recognizance. It starts to get tricky if you have prior arrests, prior convictions, prior bench warrants. Then the whole idea of the guidelines sometimes can hurt you, because then they have reasons to go above the guidelines. The guidelines are set fairly low, anywhere between $0 and $50,000. Your standard, as I said, your standard marijuana case would be a 0, where you would just sign your own bail, and your robbery case would be $50,000. So why do they go above? They go above because guns, injury to people, serious injury to people, murder, of course, is a much higher bail. There are a number of reasons why they may go. Maybe a lot of prior bench warrants. They may feel that it's necessary to have a higher bail. How bail is set? Bail is set, first of all, when you're arrested, you go to the police district, and on a video camera, you are introduced to the magistrate, and the magistrate will tell you what the charges are against you. This is called a preliminary arraignment. What the charges are against you, and at that point, bail is set, based on the facts which are recited by the Commonwealth. Now, does it help to have a lawyer in that situation? Yes. This is within 24 hours of your arrest, generally, in Philadelphia. Sometimes in the counties it's much sooner. Does it help to have an attorney? Very much so. If an attorney is involved, an attorney can go to the bail hearing down in the Criminal Justice Center, or he can call and make his input. And very often, having an attorney at that point in the proceedings will allow you to have a slightly lower bail, and sometimes a much lower bail. So that's about it for this particular point on the bail. There are other things around bail which like how do you actually pay the bail and get out, which I'll discuss in another video. Again, my name is Attorney Joseph Mitchell. You can find me at www.YourHarvardAttorney.com, YourHarvardAttorney.com. I have a lot of useful information on that site, as well as numerous YouTube videos. Please feel free to visit my site or call me for a free consultation at 215-557-7111. That's 215-557-7111. That's 24 hours a day. Thank you.